Alexandru, my name is Ash Singh. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm Alex, and I don't know about you, but I believe that mobile games can change our lives for the better so that we can become more connected to the places around us. I'm a PhD student, a hacker, a hipster, and trying to be a hustler, but it's actually my technical abilities and persistence that led me to develop a global platform for urban exploration and local places. It all started with a cool idea that we have come up at a bar in the old center of Bucharest. And over the course of 3 years, we have fully developed and launched our platform and participated in startup and technology events around Bucharest. We are now looking for partners around the world to create interactive urban experiences and to provide local content on our platform to build traction and to define a global audience. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Alexandru. Thank you. And you're perfect on time today. Okay. So thank you for Simran for adjusting the spotlight as well. So let's try to give some feedback, Nalay. Do you want to kick off? So what we do on this, guys, is in the chat, feel free to give feedback because we want to make sure Alexandru can get as much inputs from the crowd. Nalay, do you want to kick off with some feedback as well? You're on mute.
Okay. All right. So I think what you had was, it was a good pitch to begin with. Like, it was, you got like some good, you introduced yourself, you talked about who you are, and you talked about some of the things that, that you want to focus on is, focus on more on elements that gives you credibility, or why are you the person you're doing this, right? So you mentioned, okay, you're a hacker and a hustler. Okay, try to a hacker and a hipster trying to be a hustler. That's good. Okay, but what makes you an expert in this field, right? You mentioned that you're a student or a researcher in the space. That's that's something that you need to make sure that it comes out what your research area is and how does that relate to maybe something else, because the pitch is all about, first of all, sparking that interest and then making sure you're credible and then ending with an ask, right? That's those are the key elements that you want to make sure you capture, right? And I think the credibility piece was a little bit was missing a little bit there.
Yeah. So, Alexandru, what I was thinking, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, if I may. A couple of things. When I think about what you're doing, right? Part of when with any pitch, it's about the storytelling. Okay, the storytelling about where we are right now. Okay, and so when I think about this, just to kick off on Nalay's points, I'll ask you these questions because I would like to know them before I do a pitch back, so I don't embarrass myself completely. Okay. Tell me about, with your research and your PhD, how has that allowed you to create an experience that is different than some random guy that's trying to copy Pokemon Go?
Yes, for us, it started with the idea of treasure hunting, and we wanted to focus on the utility aspect, so it's also useful in real life and not just a game. And this is where also the research and PhD work I'm doing on this subject of applications that can be used in other domains such as crowd sensing. So we have a good picture, a bigger picture about this kind of games that we can implement.
So this word crowd sensing is an interesting word, right? And you didn't use it, but is that you have a PhD and your research was in crowd sensing?
Yes,
right?
Yes.
And how do you build communities and stuff like that? Do you think that this gives you a leg up when you're actually building a product?
I think so, and also it's very important the persistence, because in your PhD and in a startup, you need to believe in your idea and to persist into creating what you want to achieve, and this would be
yeah. Now, tell me a little bit about your traction and how you want to talk about that, because investors want to know kind of where you've started and where you're going, right? You've been you got some traction with some startup competitions, but from a product perspective, has the product been built? Is the product ready to go? Have you used it? Have you seen that it's addicting? Is it better than Pokemon Go? And I don't want to insult you by using Pokemon Go, but Pokemon Go made a lot of money. Okay.
Yes,
so that's why we use it, right? And there's a slight connection, I feel, or at least when I was listening to you. So tell me a little bit about your traction, please.
So we fully launched our platform, but only in our country, in Romania, because it also needs some funding to be able to promote the app, and we wanted to see on a small scale. But the app it has most features that we need both for the explorers and for the companies and let's say places that want to provide content to advertise on our platform. So we thought of all the scenarios, and we captured the user experience through surveys, to some good reviews, and yeah, we're looking to expand.
Alexandra, you mentioned that you need funding. In your pitch, always have an ask, right? So when you did your pitch, I got the sense that you were looking for people that were going to set up interactive experiences, and I thought that's why you were talking to us. But do you need funding?
I think the first step would be to have some collaborations to be able to demonstrate that the product is a global product, and then we can think about the actual funding that we can get. But it's very important the traction and to get business partners and so on.
So who am I? When you pitch somebody, we generally talk about it as investors, but in our interaction, who would you like to speak to? Are you speaking to me as a company who's going to set up an interactive experience? Am I a trade, like the tourism board, right, of Romania, for instance, right, or London, right? Who am I? Who would you like to pitch?
Yeah, I think that would be a good description for the first for the start.
So I'm not gonna pitch for money. I'm gonna pitch as if you are the head of tourism for London, because you said you want to go outside of Romania, right? Let's think about London, England, right? Okay, does that work?
Yes.
Okay, and what would you want me to do? You want us to adopt the platform and input all of the big experiences that we have in London on your platform, right?
Yes, exactly. To create projects and exploration tours and events and contents.
Okay, Alexandra, would you like me to pitch your idea back to you?
Yes, of course.
All right, now I want you to give me the same amount of time as you got. So we're going to go up, okay, the elevator, and I'm going to have 1 minute to pitch your idea back to you, okay? And I'm putting myself on the line for you, Alexandra. I want you to know this, okay? But once it hits up, once you see the end of the elevator, I want you to introduce yourself, and I'll get started on my pitch, okay? Are you ready?
Yes, it'll be up. Yep.
Let's go.
Yep. Hello, I'm Alex. I'm head of the tourism board in Romania. How are you?
Okay. I'm very well, Alex. My name is Ash Singh. I'm part of the Laplace team. I'm sure you understand that tourism has taken a huge hit during the pandemic. Okay. You might have also known that over the last couple of years, people have had augmented reality experiences with things like Pokemon Go to get people out of their homes and into the outdoors. And so Laplace has created a tool, right? A next generation experience for people to use their phones and experience surroundings in a new way. We want to revive tourism, right? And allow tourism boards like yourself to add your features onto our platform so we can have a real life Pokemon Go type of experience and really get tourism back on track after this terrible pandemic, right? We're hoping that we can do a trial with you, okay, to get it going. And I would love to make time to show you a demo of our product. Do you have time for a coffee?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
I would enjoy that.
Right. So, Alex, what I wanted to do, I didn't bring the crowd sensing in, okay, because the tourism guy might not care. Does that make sense? So if you notice, I removed that. If I was talking to an investor, I would, okay. I did bring up the Pokemon Go. I should have brought up the treasure hunting because I think that's really powerful from a tourism competition campaign perspective, okay? Talking a little bit about how that works. And we also recognize that some tourism people might not have played Pokemon Go. So if I had a little bit more time, I would have asked if they've actually played it. And if they hadn't, I would just go direct and talk about like mixed reality, right? Because that's what you're doing, correct? It's a mixed reality experience. You need to know the buzzword that they want, and then you keep on giving them the buzzword, okay? So they get excited about it. But you don't have to give me feedback because it's not my company, right? Alexandra, thank you for going first. Congratulations on what you're building. And we do need to get you in front of some other tourism people too, right? So, you know, when we're in Singapore in June, Alexandra, we want to put you in touch with somebody with the Singapore Tourism Board, okay? So let's try to make that happen.